Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for the 19th day of the 30 days of November, 30 days of live video challenge that I'm doing. So I'm a little bit later in the day, but I did make it in. My thing that I'm going to be talking about today is going to be about fun stuff, fun goals to be specific. So my wife said, well, why don't you ever do your topic about something fun? And to me, financial planning is fun. So all these topics I've been covering, I've probably been laughing and smiling because I enjoy every aspect of it. But that might not be the case for you guys watching and tuning in. So hopefully this one's going to be a little bit more fun. I'm going to actually get down to the root of why I enjoy doing what I do and why I do get to have as much fun as I do when I'm helping clients and talking about financial planning. Because it's all about the goals. It's the things that really get people motivated to even work with me, talk with me, or to make those short-term sacrifices so that they can achieve those goals and do a lot of fun stuff. So just running through a long laundry list of the different goals that people can have. One of my clients is retiring in about a week and a half, so that's pretty exciting. Travel is really high on a lot of clients' lists. There's weddings that obviously are expensive, and so I've helped a few of my clients plan for those and do that without having to pay credit card interest rates and crazy things like that. Saving for your first house, purchasing your first house, I think that's one big one where a lot of people are like, what the heck? Like, how am I ever going to be able to afford a house? How am I going to be able to purchase a house? And so luckily, it's not as impossible as it may sound, even if it does seem like it's a mile away from before you ever get to that point to be able to do that. It's definitely within the realm of possibility, and especially with lower interest rates now. So it's been fun to kind of help people realize that these things aren't as far off. It might take a little tweaks, a few adjustments, focused planning, focused strategy, and kind of controlling the situation. But you can definitely do those. Paying off credit cards, not as fun the process of doing it, but the how awesome it feels for them once it is paid off. I don't know if you caught I don't know if it was a video. It was probably just a post that I did back in the summer. I helped one of my newer clients pay off their credit cards, and he was kind of dancing in the background, so it was a lot of fun to see that reaction. So he was having fun with it. Saving for college, so that's something that's important to some people when they have children and they're like, I don't want them to have the same type of burden I did, or just maybe they had college paid for, so that's a high priority for them. That's something that once you actually get to that point where you're sending your kid off to college and you're able to help kind of offset some of that tuition, some of those student loans, that has a huge impact and adds a lot of value, and that's fun for the clients that are achieving those goals. Paying off student loans, again, another one of those ones, probably not as fun in the process, but once you get them knocked out, I know it's like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulder. Things are frozen right now in student loans, so if you haven't seen that, go and find my student loan forbearance strategy guide. I posted back in the spring when everything first started with COVID, but then more recently, there's been a lot of talk with student loan forgiveness. I've had videos and a recent strategy guide on that too. So if that's something that you need to figure out whether or not you should be paying those student loans actively, I have a lot more details on those study guides I created. Building wealth is a common one too. So a lot of times we're not taught this stuff in school. That was what my video was on yesterday. You don't necessarily understand like how stocks and bonds and cryptocurrency, gold, all these different things are resources to help you build wealth. And maybe at first when you don't know about them, they can feel a little bit overwhelming. But once you understand like how these things can truly change your life and give you a lot more control, they really increase the potential for you to be able to do whatever you want in the future. So that's a lot of fun, just kind of providing the education and then seeing those kind of dots get connected. Like, hey, instead of spending $100 here, if I invest it here, it could turn to $200 in 20 years. Obviously, the more you do that every single month, that starts to become more fun too, because you get to see your balances grow and be excited about all that benefits there. So building wealth is a cool part of it. Having a plan. So again, it probably not what you would think would be awesome, but the awesome thing about having a plan is it just gives you a lot more confidence about what you're doing and how you can really achieve your goals. You just have to get clarity on them first, and that's really the probably the biggest step that a lot of people haven't gone through. So when they come to me like, oh yeah, we talked about these things like a very high scale, but they've never honed in on timelines, things that are really important to where they're going to start actually acting and taking action and really moving in the direction that they want to. So having a plan can be super powerful, and it could be a lot of fun once you kind of see it all come together. It's kind of the way I feel about it is when I get like a new game board or something like that, and you're kind of getting all the pieces out, you're kind of laying them out. You read the rule book, and you're like, all right, it's time to begin, and let's get going. Let's start trying to win this game. And so that's kind of how I view having a plan. And at least for the clients that work with me, obviously that's one of the reasons they reach out to me. But it gives them a lot of confidence and control over their situation, when a lot of times before they have that plan, they're like, yeah, I don't know where my money is going or what I'm doing or how to actually make any of these dreams and goals I have actually a reality. And so it's really fun to kind of get organized and start to provide that clarity for them. And I think at the end of the day, just realizing that you are capable of achieving a lot of these goals. And that's what I really enjoy, helping people just kind of have that clarity and understanding, like, hey, yes, they may have seemed crazy. You may have thought they were way out of your reach. It might take a little bit of work on your end, but if you just put in a little bit of effort, we can kind of make sure that we take the path of least resistance, really increase your situation and have fun along the way. That's why it's Level Up Financial Planning and not boat financial planning or whatever the traditional financial planners have as their kind of saying. So hopefully that's helpful for you. These things are so much fun. One thing I don't think I mentioned, so kind of goes in with travel, but one of my clients is saving for a sabbatical. So basically they want to take a full year off, and both of them, husband and wife, and that's going to be a cool experience for them. That's provides a lot of opportunities, because when their income drops, we might be able to do some Roth conversions and stuff. So more fun for me on the back end, but the sabbatical, they're going to have a blast on that. They're going to be kind of backpacking, and they might even drive down South America and kind of just go all over for a year and just really get ingrained in the country and the culture. And I said, heck yeah, you guys should definitely do that. And the cool thing about it is he is actually a boot camp graduate student. So he's graduated from boot camp about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. And so his income increased dramatically, but since we've been working together, he didn't increase his expenses dramatically. So what that's allowing them to do is they're saving up a ridiculous amount of money. So when they both turn off their income for a full year and spending it on just kind of traveling the South America, they're not going to have a problem. We've kind of already planned this stuff out. It's still about a year and a half away, but they're just saving so much now because of just having that recognition that, hey, I was used to living off this. My income's this much higher. That means I can save this much. And that means I can do these crazy fun, crazy cool things that most people, if they weren't focused on a plan, if they didn't have that very clear goal in their mind, it would be really hard for them to be able to save as high of a percentage. Because when you get that money, it's like, oh, why can't I do this stuff? Why can't I do all these extra things that maybe your friends are doing or your family's doing? But that's where having that plan though does help, because it's like, hey, you can actually do these crazy wild things. Let's just make sure that we have a plan to actually make those things happen. So hopefully if you got into this late, go and check the rest of the video and see if there's any of these goals that sound like they're relative or fun to you, and really figure out how to actually put an action plan into place so you can make these goals a reality. Because saving for them is fun. You get to kind of feel that you're leveling up and getting closer to being able to make that a reality. But then ultimately it is achieving that goal and actually being able to enjoy, like, hey, I was able to do that sabbatical. I was able to retire like my client in the next couple of weeks here. And that's really where it's the most fun for them. And I have a lot of fun kind of planning along the way with them.